Taking you live from Newark, New Jersey, here at the Prudential Center for another installment of the Hudson River Rivalry, one of the most prominent rivalries in the NHL, as the Rangers and the Devils face off here in New Jersey tonight. Both teams around a week ago, very interesting start to their last week. Both teams picking up wins in the Stadium Series at MetLife Stadium, and now both teams meeting here tonight in New Jersey for another very anticipated matchup. This game here tonight started off with a ton of energy and very tough from the beginning. A lot of animosity between these two teams. Definitely no love lost between these two hockey clubs. And in the beginning of the period, after a Ranger hit, Matt Rempe, New York Ranger, ends up getting involved in a fight and ends up receiving a 5-minute penalty, a 5-minute major. Not the way the Rangers wanted to start off this game, but they used it to their advantage. They kill the 5-minute penalty, end up using it for motivation and momentum, and end up having a fantastic first period. With 10 minutes and 46 seconds left in the first period, the Rangers go on the power play, and just 5 seconds after going on the power play, Mika Zibanejad cashes in for the New York Rangers, getting his first goal of the game and the first goal of the game from either team. It's 1-0 Rangers. And then a little bit later, toward the end of the period, with just around 2 minutes left, right off the face-off, directly off the face-off, Alexis Lafrenière scores for the Rangers his first of 2 goals here tonight, once again proving his stuff and really putting the league on notice as he's been doing for the last month or two, and doubles the Ranger lead. It's now 2-0 Rangers going into the locker room for the first intermission.
A little while ago, right there. Oh, giveaway! Alexis Lafrenière on the 4-on-4, and the Rangers lead 2-0.
Yeah, it's a lot of the Rangers' success transferring over to the second period, as the period started with a massive open ice hit from Ranger captain Jacob Trouba, and definitely one of the more iconic and memorable moments of the night here in Newark. A little bit later in the period, Chris Kreider scores on the 2-on-1 breakaway after a beautiful hockey assist from goalie Igor Shesterkin, his first assist of the season. And just a little bit later in the period, the Rangers get their 4th goal, now quadrupling their lead 4-0, courtesy of Alexis Lafrenière, his 2nd goal of the game, and sent this Newark, New Jersey crowd into an absolute frenzy. Ranger fans everywhere, and it's 4-0 Rangers going into the 3rd period. Absolute domination, along with Igor Shesterkin absolutely dominating in between the pipes in goaltender, Igor chants blaring through the Prudential Center from the Ranger fan faithful. Most of the 3rd and final period relatively uneventful here in New Jersey. A lot of fireworks early, and in the 3rd period, not a ton of action. Eventually, it's New York Ranger All-Star, just at the All-Star game a couple weeks ago, Vincent Trocheck firmly putting this game out of the reach of the Devils with a goal, giving the Rangers their 5th goal and a 5-0 lead over the Devils, and really putting the cherry on top of a wonderful Ranger performance. A little bit later, late in the 3rd period, Devils finally get on the scoreboard. It's Jack Hughes finally getting a goal for the New Jersey Devils after, up to that point, 35 saves from Igor Shesterkin, absolutely standing on his head in the net for the Rangers. But the Devils finally break through toward the end of the period and evaporate the shutout for Igor Shesterkin. Still a 5-1 lead for the Rangers. They end up coming out on top in the end when the final buzzer sounded. 5-1, a definitive victory for this Ranger team. Now they're 9th in a row. They are absolutely on fire, and you could see it here tonight how good this team is and how well they play, especially against high-level competition like the New Jersey Devils. New Jersey Devils ended the Ranger season in this very building last year in Game 7 of the first round. Jacob Trouba, captain of the New York Rangers, talked about if there's any added motivation in a matchup, not only a rivalry with the Devils, but after what transpired in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, I mean, they're a rival. They're obviously a divisional game. I think it's always a little bit heightened. Yeah, there's the playoff history now of last year. Yeah, I think anytime Devils Islanders are always kind of a little more meaning. It's just playing in New York and playing in this area. That's how it's always been, and that's probably how it always will be.
Jacob, what did you make of the...
Head coach of the New Jersey Devils, Lindy Ruff, also spoke after the game, and here's what he said when asked about his final message toward his team after this defeat.
Well, we've spent a lot of time as a coaching staff. We spent the majority of time talking about special teams and power play, and is there a better unit? And, you know, when we have two young defensemen that are anchoring. There's really not a replacement up top for us, and they've probably done a better than expected job for me, both those kids. And they're going to continue to grow, and there's a lot of stuff you like about their game. But I think with anybody, the young defenseman, there's going to be mistakes, there's going to be some poor decisions at times. But you have to just live with that, and you got to grow through it. We're going to meet as a staff again. We're going to talk about, is there something that we can do, or maybe switch one personnel around.
Rangers get their 9th win in a row here at Prudential Center, continuing their dominance over the Metropolitan Division. Devils fall to 28-24-3 on the year. They'll look to get back in action and back on the right foot at home against the Canadiens on Saturday afternoon. That one is at 2 o'clock. For WFUV Sports, I'm Chris Carrino.